As-salaam wa-alaikum, brothers and sisters. Welcome to Year 6 of the 17 Verses podcast. I'm your host, Maher Haq. In this podcast, we take a small selection from the Quran every day and recite it to you in plain English, so you can get a small slice of God's Word while you go about your day. By averaging 17 verses per day, we're able to break the Quran down into manageable pieces and finish it in 1 year. If you enjoy the podcast, please help spread the word. Tell your friends and family, subscribe in iTunes or Stitcher or wherever you get your podcasts, and write us a review. Show notes and a text episode can be found at 17verses.com. That's the numbers 17verses.com. Today's selection is from Surah 28, Al-Qasas, or the Narrations, verses 1 through 21. These verses begin the story of Prophet Musa, or Moses, including Pharaoh's plot to kill the sons of the Israelites, and Prophet Moses' youth, and how he escaped retribution after killing a man. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. Ta, Sin, Mim. These are the verses of the book that make things clear. In all truth, we narrate to you some information about Moses and Pharaoh for the instruction of the believers. It is a fact that Pharaoh elevated himself in the land and divided its residents into groups, one group of which he oppressed, putting their sons to death and sparing only their females. Indeed, he was one of the mischief makers. But we wanted to favor those who were oppressed in the land, to make them leaders, to make them the heirs, to establish them in the land and show Pharaoh, Haman, and their warriors at their hands the same which they feared. So we inspired the mother of Moses. Suckle him, and when you feel any danger to his life, cast him into the river without any fear or grief, for we shall certainly restore him to you and make him one of our messengers. We made Pharaoh's family pick him up from the river. It was intended that Moses may become their adversary and a cause of their sorrow. Surely, Pharaoh, Haman, and their warriors were all sinners. The wife of Pharaoh said, "This child may become the comfort of the eyes for me and for you. Do not kill him. He may prove useful to us, or it may be that we will adopt him as our son." They were unaware of the result of what they were doing. On the other hand, the heart of Moses' mother was sorely troubled. She would have disclosed as to who he was, had we not strengthened her heart, so that she might become one of the true believers. She said to Moses' sister, "Go and follow him." So Moses' sister watched him from a distance in such a way that the others did not notice. We had already ordained that he would refuse to suck any foster mother. His sister came to Pharaoh's wife and said, "Shall I point out to you a house whose people will take care of him for you, and they will be sincere to him?" Thus did we restore him to his mother, that her eye might be comforted, that she might not grieve, and that she might know that the promise of Allah is true. Yet most of them do not understand. When he reached maturity and became full-grown, we bestowed on him wisdom and knowledge. Thus did we reward the righteous. One day he entered the city at a time when its people were not yet active. He found two men reaching for each other's throats. One was from his own race and the other from his foes. The man of his own race appealed for his help against his foe, whereupon Moses gave his foe a blow that killed him. On seeing what he had done, he said, "This is from the work of Shaitan. Surely he is a sworn, misleading enemy." Then he prayed, "O my Lord, I have indeed wronged my soul. Please forgive me." So Allah forgave him, for surely Allah is the forgiving and the merciful. Moses said, "O my Lord, after this favor that you have bestowed on me, I shall never be a helping hand to the criminals." Next morning, as he was walking in the city in fear and caution, suddenly he saw the same man whom he had helped the day before cry out again to him for help. Moses told him, "You are certainly a misguided person." Then, when Moses was about to lay his hands on a man who was an enemy to both of them, he cried out, "O Moses, do you intend to kill me as you killed a person yesterday? You only want to become a tyrant in the land and have no intention of reforming anything." At that time, there came a man running from the other end of the city who said, "O Moses, the chiefs are plotting to kill you. Therefore run away, for surely I am your well-wisher." Hearing this, Moses left that place in fear and caution, praying, "O my Lord, deliver me from the nation of wrongdoers." Amin. This concludes today's episode of the 17 Verses podcast. I hope that this selection helps increase your understanding of the Holy Quran just a little bit. If you like the podcast, you can subscribe in iTunes or Stitcher and write us a review. Or you can grab the RSS feed and put it into your own podcast app. The show notes, including a text version of this episode, can be found by going to 17verses.com. That's the numbers 17, VERSES.com. Thank you, and be well.